everybody. We're going to talk a little bit today about how to properly put on and also fit an English bridle. So this is my Mustang Susie, and she is going to be our demo horse for today. So the first thing we are going to do is take your bridle and take the reins in your right hand and put the reins over her head. So I'm going to take it like this and put the reins over her head. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is I'm going to take the halter off her head and I'm going to put it around her neck. So just in case something spooks her or she decides she'd rather do something else today, who knows. But that way, if she, for whatever reason, decides to walk off, then I can stop her. So I'm just going to put the halter around her neck like this. And then after that, I'm going to take the bridle. I'm going to take the noseband of the bridle and I'm going to get it out of the way of the bit. And then I'm going to put everything in my right hand. So everything is in my right hand to have my left hand free. And then I'm going to put the left hand on her nose and grab the bridle like this. Use my left hand. Take my thumb. Put my thumb in the bars of her mouth to get her to open her mouth. Just like that. Okay. And then put the crown piece over her ears. Says, oh, I'm itchy today. Okay, then I'm going to quickly get the noseband tucked under these side pieces. Just like that. So now we're ready to adjust our bridle. The first thing we're going to do is adjust the throat latch. This is a little bit big for her. I need to probably punch 1 or 2 more holes, but I'll show you guys how it should be. She's got a big head, but is a little bit kind of thin through the throat latch area. So ideally, we'd have about 4 fingers of space here. You can see I have a little bit more. That's okay. It's better for it to be too loose than too tight. But basically, the throat latch is just there. So if something on your bridle fails, then you have an extra way to have the bridle stay on your horse's head. So it just needs to be about 4 fingers of space so it's not too tight and cutting off their airway here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tighten the noseband, also called a cavesson. And on here, you want the noseband to be a little bit more snug than the throat latch. So a good rule of thumb on the noseband is to have about 2 fingers of space. I could maybe go a hole tighter. I like to leave it a little more loose than tight just because I want my horses to be comfortable. I don't want them to feel like their nose is being, constricted the whole time I'm riding. So I leave it a little bit loose. 2 fingers is a pretty good rule. Okay, last thing to talk about is how to fit the bit in your horse's mouth. Again, could probably punch another hole, go a little bit tighter on this bit for her, but she's a young horse. I think it's important for young horses to learn how to carry the bit. Later on, I will probably bring the bit up a little more in her mouth. So ideally, whenever you're fitting the bit, you would like there to be 2 wrinkles on the side of their mouth. So 2 wrinkles on the left, 2 wrinkles on the right. So as you can see, this one sits a little bit low in her mouth, but if I were to bring it up maybe 1 more hole, it would be perfect. So once we get a little bit further along, and I know she's comfortable with carrying the bit on her own, then I'll bring it up a little bit higher. So what you do not want to see is it tighten so much you have 4 or 5 wrinkles on the side of their mouth. That means the bit is too tight. Also, you want to make sure your bit is wide enough for your horse's mouth. So this bit, I believe, is a 5 1/4. You can actually measure your horse's mouth. There's a special tool called a bit ruler you can put in your horse's mouth to know exactly what size they need. But you just want to make sure there's not too much of the bit sticking out on either side of their mouth. So this is pretty perfect for her. It's not too big where there's too much of the bit sticking out, but not too small where it's rubbing on the side of her face. So this bit fits pretty good. And that is probably about it.